Hi, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Am I the Asshole podcast. I'm Danny Vega, joined by my lovable, lovely Queens-based co-host, because she's the queen of memes, Sarah Levine.
Yes, that's the only reason I live here and nothing about the rent.
Hey, it matches, Sarah. Queen and Queens. You'll love to see it, people.
We love it. Give me my own show.
Hey, we got another queen on the show today. What's going on with that, Sarah?
What is going on with that? We are welcoming a amazing Twitter comedian, also a writer at Betches, also McSweeney's and a bunch of other places, Brooke Knisley.
Hey there, everybody. Oh, it's Knisley, but that's fine. No one gets it right.
It's what?
Knisley, but no one gets it right. So
Knisley.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
I'm trying to look up video clips and I just didn't get that far on my Google search. So my apologies.
YTA, Sarah. YTA,
I fucked up two
Sarah.
times today. This is amazing. We had a conversation on the phone months ago that I totally just forgot about. So yeah,
okay.
Not my strongest day, everyone.
Guys, don't think Sarah is the asshole, because I said a bunch of stuff to Brooke before the podcast that was really uncomfortable. So I'm still the worst person here. Rest assured.
I wasn't uncomfortable.
She's gonna tweet about us. It'll be fine. It's deserved. But Brooke, you tweeted something about how your dad likes your article. He tweeted that he read your articles and he thought they were funny, but also kind of hated them.
So I love my dad, and my dad is a good guy, but he is very he's older. He's an ex-Marine, ex-smoker, ex-everything, basically. And he loves comedy, but he hates my comedy. So he's a supportive father. So he reads it. He reads all my comedy, but then he'll send me messages like, oh, that piece was very clever, very witty, but very anti-American. Or he'll say, he's like, oh, that was pretty funny, but biting. I don't think you're winning over any friends. I think he's just worried I'm going to be friendless anywhere I end up, just because of who I am.
That's why we write on the internet. To make friends. Yeah, some of Brooke's headlines are, this is actually my favorite one, and she pitched it to me. It was, the United States is a Cancer and we need to talk about its astrological chart. And then it's just like an astrological reading of the U.S. It's very funny. So check that out.
I had to do so much research into Cancer.
I like that your dad, I like that he reads all your articles.
Yeah, he's very supportive.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I also think, I'm impressed with his, obviously he has a political leaning, we can all infer there, but, he's still able to give you compliments and appreciate the craftsmanship of your work. I think I give the man a soft props because of that.
Well, it's kind of funny that you bring up his political leaning, because he's actually a Democrat. And I come from a military family, so his dad was also Marine, and right before his dad died, is still my favorite person. I haven't met a better one. And he said to me, he was like, Brooke, I think we should be socialists. And then he died. And I was like, damn, one of the good ones.
So, Brooke, I was doing some research here on your link tree, and I saw your article in HuffPo about you were in a tree. You had an incident in a tree. What happened there?
I love this story. Because I am the asshole. So I'm a dirty alcoholic and I'm not practicing right now. But I went to UC Santa Cruz for my undergraduate. And one of the pastimes of students at UC Santa Cruz is scaling the giant redwood trees. We would place a plank, like a piece of lumber. So because, the branches don't start low. So we'd walk up that and then jump. And then grab. So you have to have upper body strength. I mean, peak physical condition. It was great. Except for when I have no memory of the incident, but I was with a friend and she told me that we had reached the top of this tree. It's like 80 feet tall. And then I turned to her and I was like, I have to get down. And she was like, oh, hold on a second. We can go down together. And I was like, nope. And then I just booked it down. And then a second later, she heard two thuds and then a smack. Or two smacks and then a thud, I guess, would be more accurate. So I fell like 25 feet. I hit two branches on the way down. And then I hit the ground, obviously, because it's underneath the tree. But luckily, I didn't break anything because my head broke my fall. So they took me to the hospital. And my
Luckily?
Yeah. And my mom loves to, her favorite joke, she thinks she's a comedian. She goes, oh, you're hard-headed, Brooke, so your skull didn't even crack. They had to like put a bolt in your head. They had to crack your skull to relieve pressure from your brain because you're so hard-headed. And I was like, but yeah, so they put a bolt on my head. I was in a coma for 10 days, and then I had to relearn how to like walk and talk and eat and swallow. And then let's see, I was in the hospital for a month and a half. I was in outpatient therapy for too long, like 4 or 5 months. The worst part, all of that, like whatever, it was shitty, but the worst part was I had, so the heft of my damage, I landed on my back, gentleman. So I hit the back of my head, which is the occipital lobe, which is connected to your vision, and the optic nerve. So it fucked up my eyesight. I had diplopia, double vision. No. So I had that for 9 months. I looked like a pirate. So I kind of felt like it was my punishment for being such an alcoholic, because then I'm permanently disabled. So I still walk I got a gimp leg, and I got an eye surgery. So luckily my double vision's gone. But for 9 months, I was just like gimping around one leg, closing one eye, just like my left side didn't work right. So my left arm was always like hunched up, and I just looked like this like drunken pirate all of the time. And I was like, this is what I get for being such an alcoholic, because now I'm like permanently drunk without any of the fun. So,
Oh man.
Well, I mean, just mad props for having like a funny, like healthy attitude about it. It's very Catholic of you to suggest that this was sort of a punishment for your alcoholism.
Yeah. Oh man, you don't even know. My mom, Lutheran, my dad Catholic. So I was, oh yeah. So I was raised like fearing God, but not believing in God, which is weird mix. And to this day, my dad still, he's a lapsed Catholic. So I'll crack jokes to him about, God all the time. And he'll be like, that's funny. Very well crafted. Never say it again.
Okay, I love your dad. I officially love your dad, because what, your dad has nuance, and he's able to appreciate the quality even if he doesn't like the perspective, and that's rare these days, especially in the older generation.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's solid.
I love that.
Your dad, I could just picture your dad reading The Onion and be like, I don't like these takes, but damn, they are well wrought.
Every time he reads satire, he's like, I don't think they're making any friends. They're not going to convince anyone of anything. But it is a very accurate analysis of the situation.
The connection your dad makes between doing comedy and making friends is so funny to me, because like, I mean, I feel like most comics struggle and comedians struggle to have lots of friends. So he's like not wrong. It's just like, I don't think anyone's writing funny things like, I'm going to be the most popular person in town.
Yeah.
I'm going to make so many friends when this goes live.
More like, I'm going to get so many toxic reply guys. That's really what...
Yeah, I feel like you don't stand up on a stage by yourself to like make friends.
Yeah, very true.
Depending on what sort of stage and what sort of state of undress you're in, I guess.
Yeah.
That is true.
So
that's true.
Okay, I have kind of a question here. You mentioned you have a gimp leg. That was the word you used. What does that mean, if I can ask?
So I mean, that's the unmedical term. What is that? Just the layman's term, if you will, considering my state. No, but I just say it that way because it's easier than saying I have ambulatory issues, because my they wanted to inject Botox into my leg, because when your muscle is contracted and like constricted permanently, it's the same thing with the steroids. They give it to you to like reduce swelling and stuff like that, as the opposite effect, and then whatever. Anyway, So I look like I'm dragging around my leg. I can mask it fairly well, but it takes so much energy and just like all my brain power to like focus on that. So when I'm walking down the street, if no one's around, I'll just walk normally. But normally for me, if anyone sees me, it's very disturbing. I had a roommate when I was living in Boston, and she's actually a neurosurgeon. And so I'd come downstairs. I didn't know she was in the kitchen area. And she saw me come downstairs, and she saw me walk into the bathroom. And when I came out, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, it looks like I don't know what's wrong. Like, I'm a doctor, and I don't even know what's going on here. But it was just like, it did not look good." And I was like, "Oh, no, that's how I normally walk. And when I walk around people, so I don't want to scare them. So I focus extra hard on walking normal."
Oh my gosh.
God, that's hard. Is that particularly hard, walking? I'm assuming you live in New York City, there's a lot of walking.
Yeah. So the thing with that is, what's great about New York is that everyone minds their own fucking business. So I can walk all fucked up, and no one says anything to me. So that's good. And that's also part of the reason why I can't drink anymore, because like 1 or 2 drinks and I don't have that brain power to keep up maintaining, my walk. And then on top of that, I have really bad balance issues, sober. So I have a couple drinks, and then between my gimp leg and my balance issues is just fall down. You can tell when I relapse because the whole left side of my body is always covered in like scabs and stuff.
Oh my God. Now you described yourself as disabled. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Is that strictly referring to a physical disability? I mean, did you get off scot-free in terms of everything else? I mean, I just can't believe you fell 25 feet, bonked your head, and it seems like you. Yeah, I mean, is that the extent of it?
Oh man, that's a great question. Because again, I'm great at masking because, as my doctor told me, and this isn't a humble brag because my doctor told me this, and he's a fucking doctor, but he was like, "Wow, you must be really intelligent considering that we're still having this conversation." And I was like, "Thank you. Are you single?" And he's like, "I'm your doctor," and I was like, "Whatever. I'm your patient. You're being weird." But anyway, so I have aphasia where it's like word salad sometimes. And then I lose words and I get confused all of the time. If there's a loud noise or something like that, I'll get like crosstalk messes me up all of the time. I need to see mouths when they're moving also, because I have not like I comprehend what's being said, but it's like retaining it. It's like I miss things. So most of the time I need to see mouths. This is okay because we're taking it slow and it's mostly me ranting. But when it comes to, so that's one thing that I would much rather people be wearing masks. But when people speak to me when they're wearing masks, I often have to ask them to repeat, which is fine. Most people do. Most people don't even know why I'm asking. They just repeat it. And then it's actually great whenever I am walking down the street and there's like a cat collar or something. Because like one time this guy said to me, this was like a week ago, I was walking down the street and this guy said, to this day, I do not know what he said to me because he was wearing a mask, which, good on him. Wearing a mask while he cat calls. And I turned and I was like, I have no idea what you just said, but thank you if it was positive and fuck you if it wasn't nice. And then I just hopped on the subway and left.
I love that.
That's like the IRL of that one Twitter meme that's like, I'm not going to read all that, but happy for you or sad that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that.
I just thought about that today because Twitter announced that they were getting rid of fleets and they were like, "You're welcome" or "We're sorry."
They're getting rid of fleets. I love to hear it.
I know.
hate
Fleets were a fleet.
Oh.
Very short-lived.
Well, good. At least they read the room on that.
Please rate, review, subscribe on Patreon. We would really, wow. Okay. Please rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, on your favorite pod platforms, and join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA-POD. Our numbers are growing. We're really appreciating it. We're having a blast and a half in the WhatsApp. I think we got 60 bonus episodes now, early releases here and again. all the hottest juice. You know, I'm pouring out my whole personal life and all my issues in there. And Sarah's even pouring out some stuff too. Isn't that right, Sarah?
Yes.
So join us on Patreon. We'd love to see you there. And for the person who got mad about me plugging the Patreon so much, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And
oh my God. Now they're going to leave another bad comment because now we've slammed them 2 times.
I didn't slam them.
Let it go.
I said
Let it go.
I hope they have a nice day. I said I hope they have a nice day. And I hope that they get a banana icy if that's what they want.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's do some guess the verdict, people. AITA, wife wants a bigger ring after 5 years. Sarah, your guess, please.
I mean, I'm going to go with no assholes here.
Interesting. Brooke, what say you?
I don't know. The wife sounds like a bitch. Like, asking for a bigger ring? I don't know. That just rubs me the wrong way. But, you know, there might be nuance, obviously. But
So what's your guess? You going YTA, it sounds like?
I think the wife.
Here's the thing, Brooke. Don't feel bad. Sarah is the queen. She has really stepped up her game. And once again, she is right. It was NAH.
Woo!
Here's the story. Morning glory. They were poor when OP purchased a small ring. But in his defense, wife has tiny hands. He says that the ring is actually very proportional to her tiny, tiny hands. But now, good times have fallen upon this little duo. She wants something bigger. She wants a bigger ring, and it rubs OP the wrong way. He finds it gross. He actually said gross and image related, and he feels unappreciated. MMME Mercury writes, no assholes here, would something like an anniversary ring that won't replace the engagement ring meet everyone's needs? 5 years is a milestone. You could turn this into a piece of jewelry that's special in its own right. No assholes here.
Wow. I'm surprised that Reddit sexism didn't come for that one, honestly. Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, well, we did get Brooke calling OP's wife a B word, so, you know, maybe she's got some Reddit in her, huh, Brooke?
It's true. I've been a Redditor for 11 years.
Love to hear it. Wow, I think that may be longer than me. That's really long. 2010?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Actually, probably
Epic
before
Reddit
that.
credentials.
Ugh.
I mean, when I told her about the podcast, she was like, say no more. I understand the format. And I was like, great.
I love it.
But all right. AITA for talking about my aunt's watermelon ass. And I swear this is real.
It's a watermelon ass. That doesn't seem very respectful, but you're always so tricky with me. Why would Aunt be the asshole? I'm going to go no assholes here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to say no assholes here because since when is like equating a woman's ass to a piece of fruit a bad thing? You know, it's always like other objects that's bad, but fruit's good.
You normally hear melons with other parts of the anatomy, he said carefully. But, well, let's see what's happening.
Oh, man, you guys would think, but this is a very bizarre family. You also have to think that, like, someone's writing into Reddit, so somebody's obviously pissed off. So the story was that OP posted a picture of him and his son swinging on a tire swing that they put up in their front yard. And OP's aunt commented on it saying, I hate skinny people. What the hell is that about? So the OP called her up and said, I don't talk about your watermelon ass, so you shouldn't talk about my weight. And now all the aunts are calling him and they are pissed. So the top verdict was ESH. They said ESH, but I'd upvote twice if I could. This story is hilarious. Next time, don't go down to her level.
Wow. There we go. Well, Brooke, welcome to the club where you lose guess the verdict, because this is what I do with my life.
Yeah, I'm super bad at this.
AITA for yelling at my grieving mom.
Ooh. But if the mom's grieving, then OP's probably grieving. This is my thought process. I could go a casual ESH on this one.
Brooke, what say you?
Yeah, I see Sarah's point of view. I'm going to say no assholes here, and I'm going to be wrong, and it's going to suck.
It is. Well, I'm sorry it's going to suck, but yes, you are both wrong
Ooh.
on this one. You failed to consider the fact that mom is the worst person ever.
Oh, a plot twist.
OP apparently was just straight up dumped by mom, just straight up left to the curb with the old grandparents. OP then seeking out her bio mom. Mom blocks her on every social media platform. Yes. A week ago, mom shows up in the grandparents' kitchen because her children died in a car accident. Her other children, the family that she actually raised. So OP is her only remaining offspring. OP then threw a nuclear, which is totally valid, yelled at her, said she has actually lost all of her kids, which I thought was a pretty good line, for the heat of the moment. Mom proceeded to leave the house. OP's got a lot of guilt. Okay, Establishment 96 with the top comment. NTA, she dumped you for her new fam and then expected to pick you back up as if nothing had changed between you. She has no right to a relationship with you. I think your reaction was understandable, and while I understand why you feel guilty, you shouldn't.
Sheesh.
Right?
Yeah,
People
dang.
are terrible.
Truly the worst.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Would I be the asshole if I asked my girlfriend to change her wardrobe?
Let me tell you something. As someone who has been down this road and got into worlds of trouble, the FBI is coming for me. The CIA is tracking me. YTA. You don't fuck with women and their shit. You just say they're a 10 and you shut up. And this is the lesson I've learned.
Yeah, I mean, same. Like, don't tell anybody, regardless of gender, how to dress.
Love that. A more reasonable position, Brooke.
Yes. And I do agree with it on principle, but here is the problem.
Son of a Vondruk.
Yes, I don't know what that means.
It's a SNL quote from like 10 years ago. It's very outdated.
Nice.
My
Okay,
dad
so
would probably love it.
yes.
That was a great reference. I enjoyed it. I don't really like the ethical presumptions of the podcast, but he had some good old references in there.
Yeah.
If we get a review that says that, we'll know who it's from. Love it. So here's the deal. OP's girlfriend's wardrobe consists solely of hoodies and jumpers. What are jumpers? Like sweatshirts, I think.
Thank you. I don't know what a jumper is. Thank you. What the hell is a jumper? That's the movie Jumper.
I know. I should have Googled it, but yet another mistake I've made today. Just add it to the tab. But I think it's a sweatshirt.
No, it's not.
What is it?
I don't think it's...
like
Actually,
a
now I'm very
onesie, right?
confused. It's like a jumpsuit onesie. Yes, you're right. It looks horrible.
Oh.
Ban jumpers. Oh boy, I'm gonna get canceled again. I don't think it's
By the
not
jumper
for me.
contingent.
Oh boy.
Jumper. Let's see. Not the film. Anyway.
I mean,
Yes.
Oh, maybe that's a
Not the film.
jumpsuit.
Well, this is
Oh.
like England, so I'm like, what is it in English? In British terms.
What
Jumper.
is it in
Woman's-
English?
You know what I mean.
No, yeah, it is. It's a one-piece thing. It looks like a onesie. It's
No.
like
In England,
No?
they call something jumpers, but it's like a normal. Now this is now I'm anti-English. Okay.
I googled England jumper and it just looks like a sweatshirt.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, I was right.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
yeah, so we're talking about hoodies and sweatshirts. This is the girlfriend's wardrobe. Now it does not matter where they're going, a fancy restaurant, an academic conference for OP, you name it. She's wearing a hoodie or a sweatshirt. One morning he asked her nicely if she wanted to wear a turtleneck. They were going to a fancy dinner with OP's siblings. She said she would think about it, but then still didn't. And basically this just like keeps going on. I mean, she wears nothing but hoodies or sweatshirts to any event. And he wants to know if he would be the asshole for asking her to change her wardrobe because she doesn't have any nicer clothes. The top comment from Mud Bunny, which I don't know, that's a really cute image. I'm into it.
That's pretty cute.
The top comment was, no assholes here. You are allowed to want your girlfriend to dress up when she attends things that are important to you. She's allowed to feel that what she wears is good enough. You need to decide with her if this is a go/no-go point in your relationship.
Plus, like, couldn't the guy, like, that's reasonable, but couldn't the guy buy her an outfit that he wants her to wear at these formal events, and then she just like I have a Zoom shirt hanging from my wall. I don't wear it all the time. I just wear it when I know I'm gonna be on camera.
You gotta have a Zoom shirt.
A Zoom shirt? That's hilarious.
You don't have one?
I mean, I never thought of it as a Zoom shirt, but yeah, I do have clothes that I'd change into. You're right.
I think buying her would be it's like a good gift hack, you know? Like, there you go.
Yeah, you don't need a new engagement ring that's bigger. You need a Zoom shirt.
You need a Zoom shirt. All right. Well, once again, Sarah is the winner of Guess the Verdict. Brooke, don't feel bad. She wins every time now. It's really gotten ugly. It used to be close between us, and now she just stomps me. It's kind of merciless. It's amazing. I think it's great.
Kinky.
All right. Yes. Yes. Guys, rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon. We love to see you on there. It's getting spicy. It's getting juicy. And we got one heck of an app for you today. Our second situation of the day. AITA for thinking it was okay to take off my clothes to go to sleep in a shared hotel room. Oh boy, that's going to get wild. But first, AITA for telling my girlfriend to use her brain. Wow, I do not foresee this going well for OP. So, a bit of a backstory. My GF once used my nice kitchen knife to open a coconut. Lo and behold, the knife ended up ruined. It was a funny moment, which I blew off.
Who has a coconut?
I recently bought new knives, and she decided to use one of them to open super glue and cut the tip off. I ended up finding the knife on the kitchen chopping board with glue all stuck to it and the chopping board. Obviously, I'm pissed. The knives are a week old. I commented saying it was careless and stupid, visibly frustrated. Then I said, next time, use your brain. She clearly got upset at this comment and decided to ignore me for the rest of the day. I try to move past it and make us lunch, but she continues to act the same way. I make a comment saying, I know you're pissed about what I said, but let's move on. Yikes-a-roni. Refuses to move on. Wake up this morning and she wants to talk about what happened, tells me, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, and proceeds to compare me with her father and calls me abusive. I think it's totally unwarranted and unfair, but AITA.
Oh, boy.
Couple from hell. Kill me with a gun.
Or this bum knife.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, kill me with a dull super glue knife with a cutting board stuck to it.
So they should obviously break up, but but let's forget that for a moment and let's talk about the fact that I'm very passionate about my kitchen knives. And I actually was in this exact same situation, but with my roommate's like a roommate's friend. When I first moved to New York. Yeah. And I have one very nice knife that I use for vegetables slicing and stuff. It's very nice. I spent money on it, money. Mm-hmm. And I came out and the friend of the roommate was cutting onions. She was not cutting onions. She was hacking at onions with my knife, and it's a slicing knife, not a hacking knife. She was using it like a cleaver, which is not good, which is very not good. So I was trying not to be the asshole. So I said, hey, actually, I took the knife from her and I said, this is my knife and it's actually for slicing. You should use it like this. And I showed her how to use it. And she looked at me, rolled her eyes and said, I'll just get another knife. Then she grabbed another knife that also belonged to me and started hacking again. And I was so angry. I was so fucking angry. I was so angry that, but I've been trying to work on my anger issues, so I removed myself from the situation. So I walked back into my room, and I was so angry. I actually went on Twitter and tweeted about it, and I was like, I'm so angry. Because that's what I do. That's my coping mechanism now whenever I have these anger spirals, because I have brain damage and I have poor emotional regulation. And so I get on Twitter and I just tweet about it. And this, at the time, my roommate followed me on Twitter, saw my tweets, came to my room and was like, hey, I think that we should have a talk. And I was like, no, you need to control your fucking guests. And so I try to remove myself from the situation. And my roommate brought themselves back at me into the situation by coming back to my room. So I went off and they were like, I don't know how to solve this. And I was like, you go away. That's how we solve this right now. And I'm just going to order a fucking cleaver. So I ordered a cleaver that night on Amazon Prime, came the next day. I was like, problem solved, cleaver.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, if tweeting unhinged personal shit is a mark of brain damage, then I'm in that club.
I was going to say something
I don't know if we can chalk that up.
There's so many politicians right there with us.
That is so true. I gotta say, I feel like up until the eye roll, I was like, with I was empathizing with this girl because when you started talking about the different cutting methods, I was lost. I was like, I take the knife and I use the knife, and that is my method, and I don't know what type of knife does what type of cutting, but I don't really cook.
Yeah, I think there's a complex kind of kitchen etiquette, roommate etiquette. There's some gray areas there where it's like, you know, not that many people are, I think, passionate about their knives. Like, I had a roommate who was, you know, very into cooking, but, you know, I don't even think he had very nice knives. So I think you're a little bit of an outlier there. And I think it can be hard for people to understand, like, that you have there's an appliance we're actually obsessed with in the AITA Pod WhatsApp, which is a $500 ice machine. It makes crunchy ice, you know, the kind, like at Sonic.
Like the little cubes?
They're very tiny, crunchy cubes. It's called the Profile Opal or something like that. And, you know, I can foresee someone, you know, thinking, oh, well, this is a cheap ice machine and, you know, whatever, putting milk in there or something insane. But, yeah, I guess, I mean, I don't know. I'm on your side, Brooke, because I think you're hilarious, but I do think you did kind of go off on this person.
Well, no, because you told her nicely and then she just disrespected you. So
you told her nicely initially?
Yeah, so I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be a gentleman about this, and I said, "Oh, hey, that knife is actually for slicing, not for hacking." And then I took the knife from her because it was my fucking knife, and the roommate knew. The roommate knew it was my knife, and they should have made sure that my knife it's my fucking knife. It should have been treated, and they knew how passionate I am about knives, and so they should have protected my knife. You know, it's their guest. They're responsible for their guest. And that's what I tried to convey to them. Like, that's what I tried to rage tell them. And I was like, it's your fucking guest. You're supposed to control them, keep them on a leash. And like, you know about my stuff, my knives. Right. You know about my knives. Just if they can't use them properly, then don't you let them use them. And they were all like, well, I mean, I know how you are about your knives, but I didn't realize that was a slicing knife either. And I was like, yeah, but as soon as I came out and like said that that knife is being used incorrectly and then took it away, then like you should have intervened. That was you. That was your job. That's when you step in and you go, oh, hey, sorry, I didn't realize that was your knife or what the fuck ever. And then you grab one of your knives or something. Like you're supposed to facilitate that interaction. Like, I don't know this person, and then they're fucking rude to me in my home where I make my bread.
All right. I'm backing off.
Yeah, I'm
not
with
the
you.
asshole, and your roommate is. They knew your knives were precious. Totally. I'll share my very mild. I'm not nearly as cool as you. I've been getting Topo Chico in my fridge, which is glass bottle seltzer water. And the bottles have a resealable top, and I like to have lots of cold water in my fridge, so I refill it with flat water, and I use it like as a water bottle. I like to drink out of glass. It's kind of nice. My friend came over yesterday, didn't know that there's Topo Chicos proper, and then there's also Topo Chicos that are filled with water.
So he was like, damn, these are really flat.
Well, he drank some, and I was like, oh no, I put my mouth on that, so AITA for setting a low-key kitchen trap.
Whoops. Well, but like, wait, did you have a relationship where he could just drink your drinks that you bought? Like,
he asked, it was weird because then my other friend was like, hey, I know like Topo Chico isn't cheap, so I'm going to Venmo you for the Topo Chiqui because we're going to be coming over every week because, you know, we're going to work together. And I was like, that's fine. And then he totally didn't Venmo me, but they both totally drank Topo Chicos.
Nah,
I'm
I feel
good.
like you need to nix this arrangement then.
You should send them a Venmo request.
I really may. I got to do the math. See, I think it'd be about $2 or $3. Pretty petty shit, but I might have to do it.
No, that's important.
Right, it adds up.
It's respect.
It's really, I want you to defend my home with a knife, Brooke. I think that would be a good security.
I will pay to watch this.
So let's get into the mechanics of the sitch, because I think we might disagree a little bit. I mean, I'm already kind of leaning a certain way because OP is definitely beyond defense. And where OP really, really lost me was not in his impulsive next time use your brain. I think that came out of a place of anger, a sort of Brookish anger. When this initial thing happened, it was the second time. There was a thoughtlessness. There was a carelessness.
Who the fuck uses a knife to open super glue? And also, super glue tubes are tiny. Like, what have you done? What has gone wrong that your whole knife is covered with glue and, like, stuck to the chopping board? Like, you fucked up that whole tube of super glue. What'd you do?
It feels very careless, and much like in Brooke's situation, it's like, yo, that's your boyfriend's thing. It's a nice knife. They were purchased because you already made a mistake, so you're at strike 2 with knives. He blew up. I'm okay with the blow up. It's how he handled the blow up where he lost me because he said, I know you're pissed about what I said, but let's move on. That's despicable. That's not how you process something like that. It's like, oh, well, we're just going to get over it. You're having an emotion. Well, let's just ride right over that. That's fucked up. But I would also like to mount an attack on the girlfriend. I don't like what she did either. She gave him the silent treatment, which if she had said like, hey, I'm feeling emotional. You just kind of came at me. I need some space. She didn't say that, though. She got upset and then ignored him for the rest of the day. That's silent treatment. I'm not okay with that either.
I dislike a silent treatment.
It's fucked up. It's a really fucked up thing to do to someone. Like, if you need to do it because you're about to drop fire, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, I agree with Danny over here. He's like, communication. Just both people need to communicate. They need to be able to, work things out. It's not good to dismiss things and write things off. It's also not good to be avoidant. I agree with that. But cooling off is a good idea. But just saying, like, let's just move on unprocessed. I agree with you, Danny. Not good.
Yeah, I feel like you can tell when someone is, like, just taking space and then when they're giving you the silent treatment to be petulant.
Yeah.
I think the former is totally healthy, but the latter is fucked up. And you can tell what's going on generally.
Well, I mean, I think you should say it, you should say it. Hey, look, I need space right now. That's really the gap, because it shows you have some level of empathy toward them to where you don't want to leave them just kind of hanging.
Yeah, totally.
And for the rest of the day, I mean, I think the time span matters. Like, if someone gives you the silent treatment for like a couple minutes right after it happened, that's very different from an entire day. Like, that's a commitment at that point. Like, you've had enough time to kind of sober up emotionally. Like, good Lord.
Yeah.
Webby Vanderquack, which I think is going to rank in my top 10, maybe top 15 usernames of all time. ESH, should have thought that through, but you did choose words that were demeaning. Isopropyl alcohol will get the glue off your knife. Now, that is some Reddit shit right there.
Love it.
Did you actually say sorry? Sorry doesn't always mean I'm 100% to blame for this. It can also mean I didn't mean to hurt you. Okay, that's fine. Jan's VDE, use your brain, isn't calling somebody stupid. It's saying that somebody isn't thinking about what they're doing, and doing it twice is a good example of that. I think that's pretty fair. Like I said, I really don't think what Opie said was that bad. I think if calling it thoughtless really fits the bill. What do you say? Thoughtless and careless? Careless and stupid. I mean, stupid isn't a very nice word, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a very long debate in the comment section. That was most of the comments about if he calls her stupid and whether him saying use your brain was okay. To me, that doesn't really bother me, but there was quite some discourse about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in an ideal world, you would want to avoid harsh adjectives, but good Lord, if someone's having a reaction, you ruin their second knife. I mean, I think that's, I mean, now if you said you're stupid, of course, then that's a direct character attack. And that would then start to shift me toward straight up YTA. But he didn't directly attack her. He just tried to pave over her emotions. But to be fair, she was paving over his emotions. So I don't like either of these people, and I don't like their relationship. And I think we are all on the same page. AITA for telling my girlfriend to use her brain. We agree. Everyone sucks here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they all suck.
All right, we're going to play a little bit of Assholes at the Movie Theater. Remember those? We remember those.
Barely.
The guy who I was looking at my phone during the, not even the previews, during the little ads at the beginning, and he's like, "Oh, get off your phone." I'm like, "What, sir? It's an ad. It's an ad for a local business. Do you really need to see this? What's going on?"
I just really need this.
Okay, he needs to know the deals at Gino's Pizzeria. What about the guy when there's a completely empty row, he chooses to sit right in front of you? Why would you do that?
So creepy.
What about the guy
weird.
who chooses to sit right next to you, even though the theater is completely empty?
Ugh. Oh, that's even worse.
That happened to me when I saw Joker.
Oh my God.
Oh no. That's such a creepy movie
Yeah.
to sit by a weirdo. What about the people who leave all their trash? Like, give me a break. Take your popcorn. What are you doing? You're really going to make someone clean all this up? It takes you no effort.
The people who keep their phone volume on, like, we've been doing this for at least 10 years. You know the routine. Just silence your phone. Also, who keeps their phone volume on anymore?
Yeah, seriously.
Absolutely unhinged behavior. They should give you a citation if your ringtone goes off.
What about the person who's sitting directly behind you who's absentmindedly flicking their lighter the whole time? Not actually flicking it on, but just like flicking it. Because I've had that before.
Oh, God, that's never
noise?
happened to me.
Oh my gosh.
I hate that. What about the person who brought their baby to see like Hannibal Lecter or something horrible? He's very
God.
mature for his age. It's fine. Or they do the opposite. They're like, oh, he's not even going to understand it. He won't have permanent trauma from seeing someone eaten.
God, what about the person leaning over every 10 seconds to ask you a question? It's my mom.
We're like,
Sarah, what does that mean?
Like, I don't know.
or
I've seen this as many times as you, which is 0.
we're seeing it the first time together. That's like my poor dad. He's the one who whenever we watch a movie together, he always starts laughing and looks at me to see if I'm laughing. So how about that person who looks at you to see if you're reacting to the movie the same way they are?
No.
He knows you're the comedy expert.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Brooke, that doesn't make you an asshole. That's like a fun thing. You're having a mutual experience.
Oh, is it?
No? Nobody gets
That is
that?
so. I just think that's so funny. Like, he needs to know if the comedian thinks that's funny before he can think it's
No, but he's laughing already. He's
I always try to
more of-
look to
He's
the
more
person.
of looking at me to confirm that he's like, you're a comedy writer. You should find this funny too because I find it funny. And if I don't, he's like, why aren't you laughing? I'm like, we're in public, Dad.
Okay, that's too much. You can't do a follow-up, Dad.
Yeah, he's an asshole if he's like, why aren't you laughing? That's insane.
And you're like, well, I found the construction a little
Well,
bit
before
weak.
he said to me, he's like, do you not understand it? And I'm like, yeah, I do have brain damage, Dad. And he's like, he doesn't like that when I make jokes about my brain damage.
Oh, no.
What about the punk ass kid who puts his feet on the back of your chair and insists you can't feel it because he's being consistent about it? It's me, guys.
no.
I did this when I was like 16. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, woman. I'm sorry, woman at the Casa Grande Harkins movie theater in freaking 2010. I am sorry. It was wrong. 2006.
Gosh. How about
Imagine.
the person who gets up a million times?
Oh my God.
You
what
gotta
are
pee before
doing,
the movie.
sir?
I'm sorry. Those are the rules.
What about the friend who goes to the bathroom during and then comes back and they're like, can you explain what happened? No, because then I'll miss more of what happened. Don't you see this will cause a horrible cycle?
Who
my
are you
God.
friends with? What about
Sarah.
Hey.
That's my only friend because my comedy isn't getting me anymore.
Oh man, what about the person who kicks off their shoes and puts them on this armrest?
Oh, no. You're not in your
No,
Oh,
limit,
yeah.
did that
sir.
happen?
Ugh.
I just have
Honestly,
bad luck.
That's disgusting.
Just let movie theaters die.
All right, folks, that's Assholes at the Movie Theater. Please rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. We'd love to see it. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. For the one person who gets really annoyed with this, I hope that your day is even better than it was when I first said this. I hope it's actually gotten a little better right now. Maybe you found some candy. You found a $20 bill in an old coat. Why are you wearing a coat? It's summer. I don't know, but you found it. Good for you. AITA for thinking it was okay to take off my clothes to go to sleep in a shared hotel room. I, 22M, went on a trip with 3 of my friends, 24M, 24F, and 22M. We got a hotel with 2 double beds. I shared a bed with one of the other guys, and the other guy shared a bed with a girl. We're all friends. None of us are romantically involved, but this is our first trip with all 4 of us. Before I got into bed, I took off my clothes. I kept my undies on. The guy I was sharing a bed with expressed some discomfort with that, so I put on some athletic shorts. He still expressed discomfort, so I put on a t-shirt. I went to bed and didn't think anything else of it. The next morning, I come out of the shower. Everyone else gets quiet when I get out. The guy told me it was weird I had taken off my clothes to sleep, and the girl said that I made her uncomfortable. I didn't see anything wrong with it. As soon as someone expressed discomfort, I put on my clothes. I explained that the girl said I shouldn't have taken off my clothes to begin with. I explained it was a misunderstanding. I haven't worn PJs to sleep since I was 12, and I didn't interpret this as sexual. I apologized, but she said it was best to do my own thing today and give the rest of them some space. I understand I would have been the asshole if I refused to put my clothes on, but I think it was just a misunderstanding. What kind of Mormon ass bullshit is this?
Yeah,
This is
agreed.
insane.
That's crazy to me. 'Cause I can sleep in a t-shirt, but I can't sleep in underwear. It's just got to breathe down there. And I can't imagine a person telling me, this is why I don't have friends and I don't go anywhere with friends because no one's going to tell me how to sleep.
I guess I kind of feel like it's a little bit weird to just like sleep in only your underwear in a bed with your friend. Like I've shared a bed with my friend and I will wear like a t-shirt, either a t-shirt that definitely covers my butt with underwear or like a t-shirt and shorts.
But dudes walk around shirtless all the time.
Yeah, I don't see why he had to put on a shirt. Like, I don't...
Well, he said underwear. I guess if they were like really tight whitey tighties, but if my friend got into a bed with just boxers, I think I might say something, and someone did say something, and you know, he immediately did it. Like I don't think that's that big of a violation. It was maybe thoughtless. It sounds like these guys haven't traveled together. Like it is a little forward, but I legitimately believe OP. I mean, I think it's very common that people sleep shirtless or bottomless or whatever. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't really view it as a sin. I mean, maybe a slight faux pas that he could have been more thoughtful, but like the notion that a guy in boxers, when you're going to sleep, when it's a normalized thing, like, and there's also 2 other guys in the room, like, I just feel like they're crucifying him for no reason. It was a gaffe, no doubt. Like he should have asked, of course, but like I don't think it was like fucked up.
Yeah, I think that was weird.
No, I don't think it was either. I think it's a little weird, but
It's weird. It's just weird. You know, it's like being obsessed with knives. All right. Trying to flirt with Brooke. Okay. Dr. Asshole PhD writes, NTA, your friends have some weird hang-ups. I can see how it would be slightly weird with no convo to strip down to the undies, but when someone expressed that it made them uncomfortable, you put shorts on, and apparently that still wasn't enough. Do these people go to the beach? Are they so offended that they exclude you from the group for the day? I mean, it's the exclusion from the group. He's being shunned. He's being fucking shunned over this. Why?
yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, the beach was a good point that they brought up. It's like, do you wear bathing suits in public? Like, if it's, bathing suits are essentially underwear, right? I don't know. I haven't worn a swimsuit in a while.
Oh, yeah, just with the rebrand.
I'm a Moose writes, I'm going to have to say YTA, but not maliciously. Rules change when you sleep with a group of people. What goes on when you sleep alone is not necessarily appropriate. At the very least, you could have said, hey, I usually sleep with my boxers. Would that make you uncomfortable? To gauge your reactions and go from there. I agree that would have been optimal, but I don't think he's 22. I mean, he's a child. Like, so what? He made a boop. Come on.
Yeah, I think he should have asked, but the punishment does not fit the crime.
I feel like I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
It's like, what else are you uncomfortable with? Like, have you never seen this guy without a shirt?
Yeah, seriously. I dream in words, YTA. If you're sharing a bed with someone, you ask permission before taking your clothes off. He shouldn't have had to tell you after the fact that he was uncomfortable. There should have been a convo before it came a problem. The other thing we don't know is how familiar are these individuals, because like if they're already close, like if I was, with a stranger, like a comic I don't really know, then I would ask. But if it was like my friend, I would just do it. And then if they complained, I'd be like, all right, motherfucker, I'll sleep how you want me to sleep.
Yeah, that's true.
I think, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a little unsure where we all land exactly. I mean, for me, they are definitely the assholes because the punishment was so harsh and so mean and like so shame inducing. I'm
I
really
feel like
struggling
they
to
think that it was some weird past, but to me, I don't think it was.
It makes no sense as a pass. Like,
I mean, yeah. I feel
Right?
like, I mean,
Like-
men have done many predatory passes, I'm sure, such as this, but like this was not anything weird or inappropriate. So like, it just feels like they're kind of
We're
interpreting it that
also
way.
only getting his side of the story. So maybe he's painting it, in such a way that it was like innocent. He's like, I just sleep this way. He's like, and if we talk to the other side of it, they would be like, yeah, he was wearing a G-string and he was snuggling up on me. Yeah.
Right? He had boxers on, but his dick was out of the hole. So
yeah, I mean, I was going to say if he had an erection, then that would be very, very upsetting.
It depends where he's pointing it.
But I think we could.
I'm just joking.
All right, I think we got to play it as it lays, though. And I guess I'm assuming we line up here, AITA, for thinking it was okay to take off my clothes to go to sleep in a shared hotel room. I think we agree, not the asshole, and they are?
Yeah, but with an asterisk.
Are we ESHing people? The asterisk that we're giving him the B
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
D here, the Benny of the D?
Benny, that his dick was in his pants.
Sarah, are you with it?
yeah, I'm with it.
Benny of the dick in the pants? Yeah. All right, so we ultimately do agree, not the asshole, and the freaking shunning friends are.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap up here on AITA for hating my new neighbors. This a listener submish? Think so.
Sure is.
Please rate, review, and subscribe. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. It's popping off. We just purchased and moved into a new home. The block we moved to is very quiet. Did I say the title? AITA for hating my new neighbors. We just purchased and moved into a new home. The block we moved to is quiet. All except our next door neighbors. On the weekends, they're sometimes up to midnight or 1 a.m. playing music in their backyard and hosting outdoor gatherings. That doesn't really bother me. When I shut the windows, I can hardly hear them out there. What does bother me, their kids have started showing up in our backyard. Yes, opening the gate themselves, uninvited and unsupervised, to retrieve their baseballs. We've been letting them into our backyard to get their baseballs several times a week upon their request, and we don't mind doing so when they ask instead of letting themselves in. The other day, we found an arrow in our backyard that came from the direction of their backyard. I looked out my front window a few days ago to see them playing with a wiffle ball and bat, and the ball nearly hitting our cars several times. A grown man was hitting it, so it could have done damage. Fact check.
Relax. Yeah, it's a
fact
wiffle ball.
check.
They're like,
And
I think those are designed that like no matter how hard you hit them, you're not really doing any serious juice on
you could
it.
attach a rocket to a wiffle ball, and it could hit a toddler in the face, and nothing would happen.
Yeah, the wiffle ball will break before the toddler's face.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, we all know the best way is to land on your head or be hit in your head. That's the safest
it'll break
way
your
to do
fall.
things. I'm sorry. I'm getting frustrated. We just moved in, so we don't want to make enemies out of our new next door neighbors, but it seems to be getting worse, not better. AITA for hating our new neighbors.
I'm going to throw out one of Danny's favorite terms. I feel like this is so much internalized unassertiveness because like why are you going to hate them for doing something that they don't even know is bothering you? Because for all they know, they could think, oh, we'll just pop in and get this ourselves so that we're not ringing their doorbell, making them go outside. Like, they probably think they're doing you a favor.
100%. Thank you for using my phrase. I think you're spot on. I think, first of all, just tell the kids what you want them to do, right? Did OP ever tell the kids, like, hey, we just don't want you guys going in. We don't mind answering, so just knock on the door unless it's late. And if it's late, then, don't do it. And then, hey, please don't hit our car with your wiffle ball. Can we reposition the wiffle balling? Like, these are simple things
So
to say to kids.
I'm on the other side of this from both of you, I think, because from a litigation standpoint, if those kids get injured somehow while trying to recover their balls, then the homeowners are at fault. So it doesn't matter that they entered the property without permission. If they get hurt while they're there, then they're liable. The homeowners are liable. So to me, it's like, don't go over their kids. But the kids, they're kids. They don't know. but their parents should be watching them and keeping an eye on them and telling them that it's not okay to trespass on people's property without permission. It's just crazy to me that that kids would, because I feel like, again, if there was a conversation and, you know, the kids should always go knock on the door. I remember as a kid, like, this kind of stuff happened because we were little monsters and we would hit things into people's yards all the time. We always went to and knocked on the neighbors and like fessed up. And we're like, hey, we're a bunch of dipshits and we accidentally threw a cherry bomb into your backyard. Can we get it before it goes off? Like, you know? Yeah, I grew up in rural Pennsylvania for a little bit, and we did some weird stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not opposed to bringing the parents in if that's the way AOP wants to go. That's fine. I don't think the parents necessarily know, but I think Sarah just hit the nail on the head in terms of like, why are you becoming hateful over this? You know, this is such a low crime. They're kids. It's a freaking wiffle ball. You're lying to yourself saying it could do damage. It's almost like you want to hate them. That's what's weird.
It's a respect thing. No, I'm still on their side, kids. It's a respect thing. People keep hitting wiffle balls into your car. That means that they don't give a fuck what happens to your car. And it's just like a repeated action.
Well, nothing is going to happen.
But it's that's the thing, is that it's a respect thing. It means that you don't respect someone else's property, and they're kids. Sure, they're kids, but again, you know, they're kids. It's not their responsibility. They gotta learn it sometime, because if they do that shit when they're older, they're gonna get their ass beat. But their parents should be keeping an eye on them. But again, it should be the homeowners who are angry, who made this post, should be fucking adults and go over and talk to the parents and be like, your kids are little monsters, make them not monsters.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm with you that
Brooke.
the parents should teach the kids how to act. I guess I'm just like, you know, how can you get mad at the kids for doing something wrong that they don't know is bothering you or is wrong?
And I guess I just don't really view it as disrespectful. I mean, yeah, it's a wiffle ball, but if someone hit, you know, I'm getting a car, so
I'm going to come to your home, Danny, and I'm going to hit a wiffle ball into your car every day, multiple times. And I'm going to tell you.
Okay, look, it says nearly hitting our car several times. Like, I think these people are just playing wiffle ball. Like, this is not Babe Ruth. No one's like calling shots with the wiffle ball. No one's hitting a wiffle ball with that much precision.
I'm going to play wiffle ball with your neighbors and around your car.
Go ahead, because first of all, then I'll have someone there when it gets towed because I park wrong as hell. And also, I'm not even gonna know, because you're not gonna leave any visible damage with a wiffle ball. I challenge you to damage a car with a wiffle ball. I'd be really impressed if you could do that.
This is great. This is the kind of challenge I love.
Please know we are not talking about the bat. That does not count.
Brooke is gonna use her knife and cut my car in half. That's what's gonna end up happening.
No, I frustrated. Come on now.
It's like a Hattori Hanzo
yeah, just
knife
through your car. This steel.
Joni C, NTA, I'd go over there and talk to the parents immediately and explain that maybe the old neighbors were cool with children trespassing, but you're not. I don't think
that is not how I would word it at all.
That's how I would word it.
Yeah. Your kids are criminals. Your kids are criminals. Hello, I'm your neighbor.
That'd be me. I'm the best neighbor. I'd be over there. I'd be like, what are you doing? I did that here when I moved to New York, and there was a car parked on the curb right outside my window, and they were like blasting EDM, and it was, in my defense, it was like 11 p.m. at night. But I was so angry, and I walked outside, and I also have poor body temperature regulation, so it'll be like winter, and I'll be super warm. So I went outside in like a tank top and shorts, but it was like snow everywhere, and I was just like, "Hey, what are you doing here? Should you be parked right here, blasting this shitty music right now?" And they were like, "Oh my god, this girl's on meth!" And they started yelling. They were like, "These girls on meth! Look at her!" Because they're all bundled up, and I was like, "No, I just have poor body temperature regulation. Get off of my sidewalk."
Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god! I'm calling you to yell at any of my neighbors.
You're amazing. I love that if I thought someone was on meth and then they screamed, "I have poor body temperature regulation," I would be like, "They're on so much meth, actually. I thought they were on some meth. No, they're on all the meth." legendary anti no assholes here. I think if you don't set boundaries, then it's not really your neighbor's kid's fault for behaving that way. Look at that. We're lining up with Ann. She says their NTA for quote unquote almost hitting car with wiffle balls, but accessing your backyard is asshole behavior. You could easily fix that with a lock, though. That's another good point. You're not the asshole for being frustrated with their behavior, and I don't blame you for being hesitant to confront them and ask them not to do those things, but you probably should try to have a conversation. Spot on.
I feel like people are just like so afraid of confrontation where it doesn't have to be combative. It just needs to be like a little like, hey, I noticed your kids go into your yard. Can you please tell them not to do that?
Totally. I think conflict avoidance is, incredibly toxic. It makes you upset. And, it's really not that big of a deal if you just kind of say things nicely and open nicely. You can even do a little sandwich. Hi, I'm the new neighbor. It's great to meet you. You guys have such nice foliage in the front there. I like the little scarecrow. It's
You're
cute.
great with the wiffle ball.
I like your technique. I just don't like your aim.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of unhappiness and also involving higher ups and things of this nature can be avoided with just a freaking convo. Have a conversation. Now, I think we might spar a little here. AITA for hating my new neighbors. I think Sarah and I are into YTA on this because why you building hate, but where are you,
I honestly
Brooke?
think no assholes here because they're not talking about, this poster is not talking about the neighbors, the adults. They're more talking about the kids. And it's like, you're upset with the kids. You should be angry at the parents. You should talk to the parents. It just feels like there's not any communication here. But that doesn't make them the asshole for being upset that their boundaries are violated. It's their fault for not stating their boundaries. But I think that they're entitled to have their feelings about the situation.
I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with the no assholes here. I mean, they are asking. They're not actually saying that they hate yet, and they're just frustrated. You're right. We can't fault them for having frustration.
I'm with you guys. I can meet you there.
AITA for hating my new neighbors. We agree. Brooke brought us over. Look at that. Parting the Red Sea of no assholes
Next week,
here.
I'm going to tell my therapist, and she's going to be so proud of me.
Yes.
Heck yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's the show. Brooke, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute joy. You're hilarious. And you know a lot about knives, which is amazing. Tell these people where they can find you.
I'm on Twitter being a dick at Brooke Knisley with a K, Brooke with a B. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I have an Instagram, but it's I never post on it except for like Betches articles that I've written.
Woo! Yes, check out her articles on Betches. Very funny.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, that's the show, and we'll see you next Monday morning.